Let's just have a little sip with me. A little sip of Tennessee coffee. Ah, that is good. Let me just move this over here. Let me move all this stuff over here. How about that? Is that good? I want to move this cup over here. Doesn't matter. How do you start over again after seemingly total defeat? Hope, hope, hope. Thomas Carlyle. He was a famous writer. But there was a period, a time in his life when he was living in total poverty and defeat. During that time, he had written the first 2 volumes of the history of the French Revolution. And he felt it would bring tremendous success, fame, and fortune. So he took his manuscript to John Stuart Mill to read it. He wanted his thoughts, his ideas, his stamp of approval, I guess. Mill sat by the fire, night after night, carefully reading this remarkable work, page by page. After a period of time, the maid was cleaning John Mill's room, and she saw all the papers on the floor, in disarray, pages of the manuscript beside Mill's chair. And she thought these were papers that he had disregarded. So she grabbed them and she rolled them up and she lit a fire. Every page, 2 volumes, the history of the French Revolution, went to make a fire. She thought he was throwing them away. Whenever Carlyle heard about it, his work had been destroyed in the fire. He was devastated. He went into a deep depression. A defeated man. He was ready to give up. He had neither the heart nor the strength to start over. He even vowed, I'll never write again. For days he wouldn't shave, he wouldn't bathe, he wouldn't leave his room. He just sulked around, brooding over his misfortune. One day he looked out the window and he saw a building. He saw a bricklayer with a little trowel and a brick. And he was cleaning the brick. And he was scooping up the mortar, the cement. And he was laying it down, and he was building a wonderful, beautiful, straight wall. The bricklayer sat one on top of the other. He says he watched that guy for I don't know how long. And he decided, I'm going to write again. 1 page at a time. 1 page at a time. And he started. And after a period of time, he finished that wonderful, wonderful manuscript. 2 volumes set, History of the French Revolution. That's what it takes, 1 brick at a time. 1 breath at a time, 1 story at a time, 1 visit at a time, 1 prayer at a time. God has not told us to go out there and do it all in one go. Just one brick at a time. Start. Listen, don't give up. Whenever it seems like defeat, keep on keeping on. Don't stay there. Listen, if you get knocked down, get up. Get on your feet again. The Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 15, verse 24. hope to see you again in passing as I go to Spain. Paul was writing to the Romans. He told them, I hope to see you again on my way to Spain. Going to Spain was one of his dreams, one of his high hopes. But you know, the Apostle Paul never made it to Spain. Instead, he got a prison. He got a prison cell in Rome, where his journey ended. I hope to see you again when I'm passing through. But he didn't get to pass through again. He ended up in a Roman cell. How many dream to live one life and they're forced to live another? It's not always your first choice that matters. Sometimes your second, your third, your fourth choice is even better. How many dream one life and they're forced to live another? Do you know there's some people who die with music still in their hearts? That's why I love to sing. I love to sing. I still got some music that you need to hear. Some of you need to learn to sing again. Some of you need to learn to sing again. And one of the frustrations, the disappointments that we deal with, often our first choice, we don't get it. You know, whenever you read the biographies of great men or any kind of people, you will find often in life, they don't get on the basis of first choice or second choice. Some have to settle for second, third, something else. Once a year for the last 25 years, my family and my children, my grandchildren, and the whole family go to Panama City, the world's most beautiful beaches. And we all go together. Sometimes we rent a big van for the kids, or sometimes we go in different ways, different means. But we're heading to Panama City every year. And I think the last several years we've had GPSs. And sometimes they send you everywhere. You know, instead of going the main road, they send you down the back roads, the side road. We went out one night, Paul was with us. And I'm telling you, there were 5,000 deers lining the road. And we had to travel this road for miles, 10 miles an hour, because the deer was just standing against us, looking at us as we drove by. Some funny road GPS sent us. But several times now we've ended up in a little town called Enterprise, Alabama. Enterprise, Alabama. When we first went there, on our way back one time, Maureen bought us some nuts. But in the center of the town, Enterprise, Alabama, there's a monument. It's a goddess. It's a lighted pedestal. And holding aloft is a big bug. A big giant Bo Evil. Do you know this? Just fresh. The Bo Evil. And this was a deadly enemy to cotton. Why would they have this lighted monument to this monster who destroyed the farmers and their cotton? The insect swept across the south and impoverished farmers. The farmers were out of a job. In the year 1919, the Bo Evil had destroyed all the cotton crops, and the whole area was dependent on cotton. But here they have a great calamity. And there was no way that people could fight it. They couldn't fight this new, and they were facing a hopeless situation. But some crazy guy decided to go out and plant peanuts. Some nutter went out and planted nuts. Some nutcase went out and planted nuts. And they discovered that the climate and the soil in that area was almost perfect for the peanut. I want you to check your phone tonight. Get your phone out. What is the peanut capital of the world? The peanut capital of the world is Enterprise, Alabama. Wow. Did you hear? Check it out. Check it out. They became the peanut growing capital of the world, and the people became prosperous, wealthier than the second choice, third choice, not their first choice. First choice was cotton. They became more wealthier than they'd ever been. More wealthier. I'm telling you, they became wealthy. Out of tragedy, a new hope came. A new hope came. Last story from Scripture. They're in the boat, the disciples, in the storm, the sea. The waves are beaten by the ship, and there he is having a sleep. They wake him up and say, Master, don't you care that we perish? And the Bible says, Mark 4, verse 38. Oh, you have little faith. He speaks to the waves, he speaks to the water. And he tells them everything's fine, calmness. And then he says, where's your faith? And you know what the Bible says at the end of that text? They were more afraid, verse 40, than they were while they were in the storm. Starting over again, putting your faith and trust in God. Hope, my hope is in thee. Place it in the hands of God. Trust him. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. God bless you.